Hello, I'm Mari Cortez. I'm a senior at LHS.
You know!
And this poem is called Freedom is Fruit. What is freedom if freedom is bittersweet? Freedom sounds sweet, maybe it even tastes sweet, but I know for a fact that freedom is bitter. Freedom is fruit, the forbidden fruit on the tree like Adam and Eve, similar to natural selection. Only certain people know how freedom tastes because it's selective. Maybe it tastes like white chocolate, because that's what favors, right? Or green bean casserole at Thanksgiving, because I've never met a white person that hasn't celebrated that day of genocide. But it's a day of thanks, right? Well, I'm thankful to live in a country where my family's heritage and history is soon to be wiped out, almost like history repeating itself. My mother applied for citizenship over 30 years ago, and we've never once heard back. I'm thankful to walk into a store and immediately be asked if I speak English. Yes, I speak English. It's actually my first language. I'm thankful that my little brother lacks the melanin that I have, because I know that he won't have to face the difficulties that I did when I was a kid. In fact, as the only brown girl in my elementary school, I wished to look like the others, white like the color of my palms and the bottoms of my feet, the only parts of my body that lack melanin. But my skin color determines my fate in life, because having the color of my skin meant knowing what racial slurs were by the age of 7, and knowing to never open the door even if it's the authorities, and to have my mom's immigration lawyer's number memorized. That's something I hope my 10-year-old brother will never have to experience. But even without his melanin, he cannot deny the fact that his own existence, heritage, and history is not welcomed in this country full of hate. When I was in 2nd grade, I was pulled into a classroom by a group of white girls and an older white teacher. I was accused of bullying these girls that I had never once met in my life. These girls, 3 grades above me, my tears embedded in the white palms of my hands. Why is there a teacher yelling at me for something I didn't do? Maybe it's because I didn't paint my skin red, white, and blue, or that I don't enjoy green bean casserole, or that I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Why is my skin color not what you want it to be? I'm sorry, miss. I'm sorry that my art in your class wasn't a photo of me painting my skin the color of a blank canvas. I'm sorry that I will never look like your daughters that get spray tans every Saturday night, because for some reason you hate me but love the idea of my skin color on yours, and for some reason you hate my existence in your country but love my food in your mouth. I'm actually not sorry at all. I'm not that 10-year-old girl anymore that was ashamed of being different. I love not looking anything like you. Freedom is fruit, the forbidden fruit on the tree like Adam and Eve. I am a sinner because I am caving into the temptation of freedom. I just wish I had the fruit of freedom in my hand. I want to know the sweetness it gives.
Hi, my name is Hannah, and I'm from Grand Island Senior High.
Lucky duck!
I am a sophomore, and this is my poem. A fleeting glimpse of sunlight I'm not quite able to grasp. I reach my hand out and grab, but in my fingers there is nothing. Fleeting and gone, and it is night again. I want so much, but I never have time. Time is fleeting. It's there, and then it's gone. Time is money. The world gives you time, and you've got to spend it. To do anything, you have to have time, an exchange of goods, an hour of tired shopping for a bag of new clothes you might not like tomorrow. And no one gets virtual. Every breath or stretch or distraction takes time away until you have to do homework, eat dinner, feed the pets, do the dishes, do more homework, take a shower, go to practice, and go to sleep. Until there is no more time to do what you want. To read the current favorite book, to write, or to just relax. Until you are burnt out over nothing. Time does that. It stabs you through when you're not looking. Time is money, but money doesn't give you time. Because time is an hourglass. When you flip it, sand pours out, and there's no way to put it back. Wasted time is the heaviest, falling down on me like bullets, cementing my body in stone. But it's fast and loose and liquidy, and then sand is pouring down my throat. When I'm drowning in sand, I cannot make my body move. To make use of all this sand, time unspent still ticks by. When I've got no more time in the day is when I want everything. I'm writing this at midnight, when there's no sunlight and no time, when I want everything. I suddenly regret not going outside when it was sunny and basking in the heat. I want to write America's next great novel. I want to work on the hobby I like so other people will like me too. I want to call my friends and talk about meaningless nonsense for an hour. I want to read an entire book and just sit and think about it. I want to go out for ice cream. I don't want to be sitting in my room at midnight. Except it is not midnight. It is 12:01. I've spent a minute thinking about things I cannot have. I make myself go to bed. Wrapping myself in blankets, I soothe myself with thoughts of tomorrow. That there will be more sunlight, there will be more books, homework, cramped handwriting, practice, and sadness tomorrow. You can sleep when you're dead, but you need to sleep so you don't die. So as my consciousness fades, I think there will be more time to waste tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm a junior from Norfolk Senior High.
Speak the truth!
And this is my poem, Autopilot. I live my life in a constant state of autopilot. I should be the one flying the plane, but the qualified version of me missed her gate, forcing me to take over with my degree that prepared me enough to land the job, but not the plane. I'm flying figure eights into the sky, barely knowing what I'm doing, so I just choose not to think about it. I fear the autopilot is malfunctioning. I take test after test, but no matter how hard I try, I can never consciously absorb any knowledge that has been shoved in my brain these past 12 years, yet somehow my hand knows more than my head. I'm punching random numbers into a calculator, adding commas in places that might be correct, remembering only that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. My test comes back, and my paper is a jumbled mess of letters and numbers that I don't remember writing down. Shut down, rewire the autopilot over the weekend, and hope the pilot arrives for the next flight. But of course, they never do. Soon enough, the autopilot is going to give out, and we will all collectively crash into the ground. Instead of blaming the people responsible, we blame me, an animal with a decently high IQ. I live in a state where remembering the days is now a task too difficult, and writing notes is pointless because they're just scribbles on a piece of paper. My mind is struggling to catch up to the wheel. My hands are steering. The way I'm holding my pencil isn't right, but the numbers it's writing down are. Words and knowledge are no longer a choice, but a force of habit. Y equals mx plus b. Your femur is the strongest bone in your body, and Shakespeare... I hate Shakespeare. I'm done. Sophomore year burnout carries to junior, carries to senior, carries through college, and eventually my future. I will never catch a break. But I'm only 16. I'm smart. But this autopilot is nosediving to the ground. My OCD medication was overcorrecting, and suddenly the autopilot failed too. Now, nosediving is the least of our worries. I'm jumping out of the plane to skydive now, caring only about my parachute working and nothing more.
My name is Finn. I'm a freshman at Norris.
All rise!
This poem is called Portrait of a Self-Righteous Killer. Trigger warnings, death as a metaphor, and religious trauma. She tells me, live, 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 as I lay dying, pillow clutched in her hands, a struggle, a sacrificial suffocating. Coughing up at fabric that does not budge, she's telling me it hurts her more, praying my good health as she closes my eyes. She whispers words of comfort in a voice of poison. She tells me I am at the tomb, but my spirit will rise. She tells me that it is for Jesus Christ. But religion was always her thing, not mine. Will my hair be longer when she restarts my heart? Will I wear skirts and dresses and pretty things, be a caricature of the person she sees? Will the breath come back to my lungs softer than it left? A voice pitched high in testament to what I loathe becoming. Maybe she'll paint my nails a fading pink. When I'm a corpse, my hands too cold to protest. Bring the remnants of a name that is not mine into the flesh above my heart. A brain no longer cancered, a body no longer waiting to be mutilated. She whispers, 3 days is all it'll take. But I am not her Jesus, strung up flawed and awoken fixed. She tells me, live, 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 as I lay dying. She will smile through tears when I come to, pull me into an embrace that should be one of guilt. Angry, 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 always the rage for the remorse she will never know, because she takes pride in her actions. And I will go on living, same as I was, just one layer deeper under the skin she hugs, that she will see a portrait of the person I used to be and decide that it is good enough.